Okay, definitely in the right place. And coming in backwards through the property, because as I learned, the entrance onto the lot from filming was actually not the entrance to the lot. That was created separately for some reason. And I'm standing in the middle of a little ravine, crosses through the dirt road entrance here, and directly in front of me there's a windmill that wasn't there in the film, and the foundations for the house. Barn off here to the side. Now, the way I understand it, this windmill here is the base of an old well. In its place in the film, it once stood like a utility shed that housed it. In front of that shed, you would have what would have been Crystal Lake. There's nothing here. The story goes that the film crew built what in essence turned out to be a very shallow pond to fill in for the lake. Imagine the water couldn't have been more than 2 or 3 feet deep. And it's amazing to think that right now I'm standing on what is the edge of what was temporarily standard as Crystal Lake. Right over here, you'll see this is the remains of the dock where Jason's famous hockey mask makes its first cinematic appearance. Nothing left visually underneath all the leaves and debris of what would have been the original berms that were used for the shoreline. But it would have been between that little group of trees and the dock here, presumably where kids swam. Chris parked their canoe and pushed it out into the water. At the climax of the film, or I should say epilogue. It's possible a lot of these branches, dead logs and the like could have been amongst those that her canoe got tangled in when she hallucinated Jason and in a panic tried to paddle away. And I'm seeing over here what might be possibly some of the artificial berm that they constructed to help retain the water. Feels like asphalt. I understand the water drained out really quickly, pumped in probably from that well. Berm goes here. Looks like it arcs around a little bit on these rocks. Trying to tell where the last outer edge of it was. Sandy beaches. Strangely, I'm seen to be in a raised area, so I don't know if there was some of this sandy-like dirt trucked in after the fact or what, but this raised area drops off into a little ravine just on the other side of those logs. I'm not mistaken, is the continuation of the ravine that the bridge passed over, that Chris in her van with her friends passed over at the beginning of the film, and whose tires got stuck and they began sinking in the bridge when she ran out of gas. There are a lot of flies out here. They all say hello. Greetings to viewers. That ravine would continue on, loop around the back side of the barn, which we will visit over there shortly. I'll make my way through here. I understand there's somewhere under all this bits of concrete. Stuff just wears out really quickly. Going on almost 40 years since the movie was filmed here. The base of the dock where it would have connected to the shore. Straight on back, you would be looking at essentially the side of where the house was, and the front deck, which would have been on the other side of all this tree growth is now. Let's see, pipe sticking out from the ground there, where the water would have come out of the well, probably to fill the lake. I understand this location was used for other film shoots, TV shoots in the years after. Hopefully we don't get any wind today, because I understand that windmill makes a bit of noise, but it looks like it's been jammed up with some tree branches anyway. We don't want that thing spinning on us. The dock from where Jason stood, made his first kill in the hockey mask. The little harpoon. Poor Vera, lovely Vera's eyeball. Which in turn, she would have been standing right over here in this area in the water. She was hit and fallen in, which is so shallow compared to the ground around it. It's amazing to believe that this was actually ever filled with water. This is interesting. This tree here, metal pipe, some steel work, trees growing up around it, encompassing it. Let's take a look. I don't think this is anything related to the film necessarily. I don't recall there being anything in the film that took place on this side of the dock. I don't know what this is or what it was supposed to be. Ah, you missed that one, Adam. Just messing with you, buddy. Let's see here in the background. Back side of the fireplace from the house. We'll take a look at the well.